I don't know. I'm not able to use my Bluetooth. Okay. So let's start. I think who I joined. Chiranjeevi, can you just brief, what the expectations? So, I mean, can you brief me about yourself? I could see Chiranjeevi, Bharat, Kumar.
Yeah, It is. Myself, Chiranjeevi. Basically, I'm a commerce graduate, and I did my ICWA intermediate, and I'm waiting for take the exams for a final. And I'm working in SAP, Tech Mahindra as a SAP consultant, FICO. And my expectations from your side, and vendor invoice management at a scratch level, I want to be an expert from implementation side.
Okay. Okay, good to hear that. And I think, yeah, Bharat.
I'm sorry to. I want to add one more point also. In
Please.
SAP FICO, I did 2 implementations.
Okay.
So just I want to take up any new opportunity which is related to VIM.
Okay.
So at that level, I want to be upgrade myself.
Yes, understood. Actually, yeah. So, and Bharat, I think I could see Bharat has joined as well.
Yeah. Hi, myself Bharat. Actually, I have over 8+ years of experience in SAP FICO and work for different domains like and different regions as well, Indian and MNCs. And my expectations from this training is actually I'm a VIM consultant basically. I have done one implementation as well as upgrade and support. I want to enhance my skills in the VIM perspective. I work for a couple of different projects, one Indian project and then a German project.
Okay. And I could see, yeah, thanks, Bharat, letting you know that the expectation that you're looking for. And yeah, Uma Maheshwar, can you brief you?
Hi Ram, very good morning. This is Uma Maheshwar. Again, I'm from Tech Mahindra. So I'm there almost more than 10 years. Actually, I'm into management. So okay. I'm actually working on a couple of ECM related projects. So FileNet, Documentum, and OpenText. Now, recently I moved to this vendor invoice management also. But actually, since I'm new, I also work on proposals. So my expectation is I need to know end-to-end workflow of VIM. And also apart from that, various integrations we can do, because usual integration with SAP basic level I know, but in fact overall VIM also I'm at only basic level. I want to enhance that basic level to be able to work on proposals and give solutions, because when I say basic level, I just know high level workflow of VIM, but don't know internal details of exactly step by step. Probably that is one thing I am expecting. Apart from that, various integration we can have with the VIM. Ram.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, we will discuss, and I'll show you what we gonna be discussing, how the training goes, and what is the outcome of this, and what we can achieve together. So that I'll let you know. Yes, yeah, we will do that. And sure, I could see, sure. Yeah, thanks. I could see Ravindra also has joined. Hey, hi, Ravindra. I hope I can see you as a yellow. That means you haven't joined or you can not hear us. Hello. Okay. Okay, so let's start.
Before we start, Ram, sorry to interrupt you, Uma here. So Ram, actually, I came to know about this training through YouTube's only. I have seen some of the your YouTubes, which I liked it. There it is mentioned as Subbu. So I just wanted to know full name. Is it a same person it is conducting, or it's an institute kind of thing?
Actually, it's an institute. The Subbu is the one who actually drive the the organization part. And
Okay.
actually, since I got some time, and I used to give the trainings, and he just tie up with me. So because I have a time, so where I could spend and share the knowledge. So
Okay.
he just
Also,
connect.
sure. Also, may I know, if you don't mind, may I know your experience levels, since how long you are into this training?
Yes, I am gonna be, yes. I have nearly 10 years of experience, and I am certified in the FI and as well in the VIM, and nearly the 5 years of experience in the VIM. So I have
Okay.
worked for support projects, and I have worked for implementation projects as well. And I was there for few years outside. So yeah,
Excellent.
and so I worked in a industry where automobile and in life sciences, and I'm currently with the financial services domain. So yeah,
Okay.
so that's all about me. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Ram. Nice to hear that.
Yeah. Okay. So Ravindra, I guess you joined. Can you please let us know about yourself, or can you hear us? Okay, maybe he has some connection issues. Okay, let's just okay. Just let I just want you you to take through the things that we are going to be discussed, and so that it will be clear, and the expectations that we going to be see end of the training. So these are the things, the first overview, and it will be around 30 to 40 hours of training, where you will be do the customization, or do the project at your own. So, and the simulation part which we have here, we have only the standalone installation system, that where you will be like maybe it's a complicated the system when it comes to the, as you people are working, and we have different types of integrations to the VIM as a add-on. So data of it's depending on the client where you will be opting the the integration part in the input channels. So here since it's a training system, so we can only see the outcome of what exactly the VIM does. So, and the integration part, because we cannot simulate that. So the simulation part, I mean the input of the any invoices, maybe it is IDOC, or it is a ICC, or it is a the Ariba, whichever. So the once it integrates, so VIM does what it's supposed to check the rules and everything. So our main goal and agenda will be to check and learn the, core thing about the Vim. So inside, what is the configuration? So, but yes, we will be discussing the each point of the integration, that how the Vim and the how the data will be land in the Vim workplace, and what are the integration points, and what are the new features that are going to be coming to the to this Vim. So that we will discuss. So that is about the outcome part. And here are the topics that we're going to be discuss, and what is the Vim challenges, and how the why this Vim has come into the picture, and what is the scan to pay, and how which kind of workflow it will what is a present one, and what is a workflow that will help to post this invoice, and what is the architecture. So architecture of the Vim, it's differs when it comes to the each client, their the business, and their the richness, and if their client is very rich and they can opt, and so, and they want to be sophisticated, so they give some very invoices very less, and they can go for a manual input. So the components of architecture will not be the same, and you can see the part and post and how it's going to be, and the simulation diagrams we can see when we implement from the scratch. So you need to design what are the roles that you need, and who going to be approved, and you need to sit with the business, and you need to understand who going to be take the action on, if it is a the financial data related, or the processing of the invoice. So that you need to design, and what I mean, it's a kind of as is kind of thing. So what is the present approval process, and you need to fit into the Vim out of box configuration. So that's how the Simulink process diagram will help. And these are the same. I mean, if you the roles, and you will be, there are requester, and coder, and AP processor. There are different types of roles in the SAP in the Vim. So where you need to understand, and which is relevant for your business, and based on your size of the team, it is a it's a time it's a size means in the process. I mean, for who process the invoice in the backend. So as you see, there are mandatory configuration. Hello guys, is someone is speaking? Can you
yeah. Ram, this is Chiranjeevi. Sorry to interrupt.
Yes. Yeah.
May I know some better understanding about the swim lane process diagram?
Yes, that is, see, the swim lane process diagram, if you opt for, there are predefined roles that we already have in the out-of-box configuration, and there are documents available. So the swim lane process is nothing but, it is a predefined one. So where, let's say, if I open, SAP, let's see, and I'll show you the things, how it works. So these are the roles. Let's say if you see here the roles actually. So if let's say now you take a buyer. So this is a buyer role that we have here. So there should be a way how we design the the workflow process. Let's say now indexer is there, so he is not able to enter, the he can enter only the sum of the metadata that's supposed to be entered. He cannot enter all the data, which is like if it is a cost center one or something, the GL one, it has to be entered by someone else. Let's say if only AP processor can enter. So then this guy has to have a roles where he can send that invoice to the AP processor. Let's say it's a POAP processor or non-POAP processor. So that kind of design, that is called as a VIM, swim lane design. So initially, by looking at the diagrams, I'll show you the swim lane diagrams. So how it be actually. So the thing here, if you understand, is so it's a design where who has to take the action, when has to, where to take the action. That kind of design called as a swim lane design, lane diagram and all. So what is a connection between AP processor and buyer, who can enter and what data they can enter. So if something goes wrong, so who can take the the action. So that kind of diagram, we this is actually when we go for a implementation, you will get the swim lane diagrams. So it may be, you can change it. It doesn't mean that if you have got a standard one means you need to follow that one. You can go with your own the role simulation process. So it is not like, let's say now you don't have the PO one, why you need a buyer? So you don't need any buyer, right? If you just want to go for a the NPO process where you have the service invoices, so why you want to go? So in that case, in the swim lane, which comes out of the box, this is not relevant, right? So I mean, that's the way you will go for your swim lane diagrams. So does that answer your question, Chiranjeevi?
Correct. I got it. Understood.
Okay.
So basically, what I understood from the information, the standard roles which will be provided, which was provided by the SAP for different users, kind of buyers, buyer, processor, non-PO processor, and PO processor, such different people roles. It is a kind.
Yeah.
Okay. Standard SAP provided.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. So the other thing is, this is a mandatory configuration that we have, archiving thing, and where it is how the invoice PDF needs to sit in the back in the archive server. So that we do here, and the mandatory configuration. This is archiving document configuration and role configuration, and we have the process types, which is called as a business rules. And if you configure the process type, if you create a new process type, and what are the options? I mean, options means in the sense one can take the action. So you need to assign that. So that we'll discuss. And we have the VIM BDC ID, which we have nearly 20, I guess, more than 20 BDC IDs are there, which can help to process and online and the background as well. So that for the processor, PO processor, and NPO process and the background, the parking. So this all BDC configuration will help. And this is the VIM PO processing, where we have the document configuration and how we will assigning and the each logic, how it works, and how the process exceptions will be cleared, and these all okay. And we have the PO invoice approval configuration, how it's how you can enhance your your PO approval process, and we have the document definition, and we have the logical module processing. So logical module in the sense, if we have the combination of vendor and company code. So let's say your invoice input data which is coming from will not be having the GL or cost center. So if you have 100 or 1,000, let's say monthly you have a nearly good amount of invoices that are coming and which is taking a much time. So then what do you do? So then this logical module can populate the data based on the combination that has chosen from the invoice. So which will help to identify GL and the cost center, which can reduce the time instead of going, and going and entering the manually into the VIM workplace. So that's how this logical module works, and how the PO line item, determination happens, and what is a tax, procedure, and how the VIM will work, and what is the rollout criteria, and we have the document processing, and we have the invoice blocking, PO invoice blocking process, where we have like a quantity discrepancy and price discrepancy, and how the system will identify that, and how the relevant user will get the invoice, so that can be configured in the system. So we have the duplicate invoice configuration and the label name change configuration. Let's say if you have a new field in the VIM workplace, so where you want to change to understand to the user, where you can if that convenient, let's say it's a convenient purpose, you can change, you can label, you can change the label. And the same goes for the non-PO invoice processing.
Ram, 1 minute.
Yes.
Can possible to explain more about the label change something? Just can you go up once?
Okay.
Yeah, label name change configuration. Can you give more idea about it, please?
Okay, just a second. I'll just show you. So if you see here, this label, the configuration that we have here. So if you want to change any fields, let's say, I'll just show you. Let's say now, if you want to change this one, this partner bank, let's say you want to put a bank type instead of partner bank, or just you want to put it, you want to change anything like from here, so you can change it. You can change the name here.
Okay.
So that's all
like
about.
in our ABAPers, how they do help, in our day-to-day process. If any changes needs to be done from backend, like in the program side, something, is it kind such?
Yeah, that actually, if the out-of-box configuration is not let's say if you want to go for a other tab over here. So let's say if you have any extra tabs, if you want to go, so you can, in that case, if anything, customization required, where you will be having, the out of the configuration, out of box configuration will give the flexibility where, maximum. If you want to, if that doesn't fill your, requirement, then you can always reach out to the developer with the relevant, class or function module or anything that you want to, change. Let's say if you, just to go for anything here. Let's say if you see, these are the 5 tabs that we have here. So these 5 tabs are, relevant to this, and you want to add another tab. So you can always go with the existing one.
Okay.
And you need to find the relevant, function module or class, and that where, a developer can help you to enhance the existing screen or a field one or anything. So that's how it works. So
Okay, got it.
okay. So the other one, we have the non-PO process flow, how it works, and process type configuration and exception. And we have the invoice approval, and where we how, if you choose the workflow inside of SAP, let's say, some clients opt, they opt for, different tools where we have in the market, like open text, product like TCP we have, and we have, the even approval portal we have. Or other than this one, if you want to opt for, if you can go within the SAP as well based on chart of, chart of authority. So this is the configuration that helps, to trigger the non-PO relevant approval process. So that's about this one. So, and reports, and we have the background jobs over here. What are the background jobs that we have here? So guys, till here I can, simulate. I can show you in the system. So where we can see somewhat, even though it is a demo system where, the configuration, sometimes, the simulation, since everybody changes, their own. So the simulation part we will try, maximum till here, and the rest, the channels, this understanding of, because these channels which are outside, where we do not have the live and real-time connection to the, at the demo system. So, but I can ensure you that I can make you understand and what is what and how does it work actually. So, and here you can see the invoice capture and BCC, and we have IES, which is going to be in in a trial mode. So they're coming up within the next, release. And we have the OCC, that is called actually the OCR. Previously it is called OCR. So which will help to take the metadata, that is, the if invoice comes into the through the IC, enterprise. It is a VIM version. What is the VIM version? Yes, sir. Who is that? Is asking VIM version. Bharat. Okay. Hi, Bharat. This one is 7.5. I guess 7.5. Just a second, Bharat.
Sure. Thank you.
There should be OTX. Yeah, you can see here it is 7.0 here. But basically, I mean, the base version and there are some features that has changed, but the basic, the functionality remains same. So if we understand the base version, then definitely if you're working on 16.1 or 2 or 3, so in the HANA side, it will be remain same, the functionality. If you understand what is the flow of the invoice and the way to take the, how to set up the roles, then that will help you to, navigate, through this cycle of invoice. So it doesn't make any difference actually. So does that answer your question, Bharat? Hello? Bharat, are you there?
Yes. Thank you. Thanks for your. Actually, we worked on the 16.3 version.
Okay. By the way, I think we could not hear you. I asked, something, brief about yourself. So I just, the expectations of, if you're looking for a, I just need to understand what I can deliver, the expectation. So
You're asking me about my expectation?
yes, Bharat. So
actually, I worked on a couple of different channels like scanning as well as email functionality. Apart from that too, I have implemented that. Apart from that, I have completely not aware of the IDOC as well as Ariba channels and different channels are there, right? So I just want to enhance my skills in that area. So got my expectation.
okay. So yes, thanks, Bharat. And,
Yeah, and also a few more things. I just want to ask you that the BCC functionality, how does it training and everything should be done with the SAP in S4HANA, right? So just want the customizing part also. I just want to know.
okay, that's the reason I asked. Yes, Bharat. So we have the limitation over here. Actually, the previously when I was giving, training, so the client was automobile client. So where you do not have any restriction using the sandbox and the things. Currently, I am honestly I'm saying the simulation part, which the financial things and that is very restricted where other things cannot be shared. But this demo, as you said, you want to understand about the Ariba understanding part. I can make you understand, and the BCC also. How does it work? And I have the documents, the configuration documents, which can help you to understand. But honestly, so the BCC and the software is not installed over here. Our main agenda would be the simulation part and what is FI&VIM and how it plays with the invoice and how workflow will be triggered and what are the channels that that can be input over here that we can discuss and understanding on the understanding perspective. If you see, if you go over here, you have the channels, incoming document processing. If since it is a demo, I mean, let's be honest in the output of the training you should not, at the end of the training, you should not feel that, and I paid, I didn't get what I supposed to get. So I'm just saying, if in real time scenario, one client may have the Ariba, and current, my client has Ariba, and the previous clients do not have that, and it is very expensive that you cannot connect now for a training purpose, Vim. But anyway, so that's the thing, one thing. But we can understand how it works and what is the input and how it will be determined. So that we can discuss in this training. And if you see the ICC, so where you have how it works and OCR channel through this, and this we can see over here and we can understand. So basically, our testing is this may be the input channels, like ingestion of the invoice. And but you can understand if you're working as a finance consultant, and you can understand any other input of invoices, where you can understand easily. So the thing is, once it comes, you need to understand how it is going. Let's say one client has a ICC and enterprise scanner. So ICC enterprise scanner, what are the previous steps? I can make you understand how does it comes, and what are the the checkpoints that you need to do, and how to push the invoice and what is the configuration required. But in order to do the configuration in the ICC, I cannot go and see the ICC configuration and in the BCC configuration, because that one has not installed over here. So our thing is, it is like the connection, the input side, I can make you understand. Yes, I can give the ICC, the download part and upload part of the the staging tables and everything, if everything installed over here, because this is the add-on, and where we have a different kind of input channels, and that is not possible over here. So we have limitation over here. So but the thing is, I'm again reiterating, so our main agenda would be the Vim side, and the understanding about the input channels and how it works, and how you need to opt for the based on your client requirement, and also that we can discuss over here. Is that answer your question, Bharat?
Thank you, Ram.
Yeah. So yes, as I said, we have the OCR process over here, and how how the system will validate, and the validation client, and how you can set up OCR process for validation. Let's say if you want to skip the validation from the OCR side ICC, you can skip over here ACC configuration. So if you want to set up validation, and how you will set up, so that based on what is the condition that we have, and if you see over here how you want to use, you want to go for validation always, or selected, or never. So some invoices may not require as like always validation. As soon as it's scanned, you want to land them into the Vim workplace. So in that case, you can skip for few document types. So that how it this ICC configuration works. Okay, so this is all about the topic, that the agenda and the outcome, and hope all cleared. Is that okay for Chiranjeevi and Bharat and Uma Chandra?
I have a question.
Yes.
My understanding is SAP and Vim both are separate systems. right?
No, it is installed over, on your ECC server. So if you see, it is like if it is like we have a many add-ons on ECC server in the where you can, yes, you can say, if you keep on using, because see, the SAP brought this open text. Let's say, let's get into the the business. So why we require the SAP VIM? Because the standard SAP parking and approval flow is not helping to the business. So in that case, what SAP has done, so in the market, this VIM OpenText has developed, the software in a such a way where it can, fulfill the business requirement, and it can give, flexibility to all the, stakeholders who involves in the life cycle of the invoice. So till from the scanning to the approval process. So this SAP has gone and opt for, they brought, they buy this, OpenText VIM, and they kept this as an add-on. So now they are partners. So either you can say it is separate, or you can say it is a part of. So it's up to you. But yes, they work, hand in hand. And this VIM uses same, workflow within as a standard workflow of SAP invoice. So SAP, standard workflow.
Yeah, in this training, can we have any session like integration in between VIM and SAP?
No, see, this we are learning as like a standard module. There is no such thing that the VIM and SAP is different. But we are working any other other module like MM and FI. So if you post a PO, if you create a PO only, then you can go for the PO invoice posting in FI, right? So in the same way, if you process the invoice over here, then the invoice will be go to the posting of in the finance. So that's how it is.
Agree.
Yeah.
But,
so it is a
like no. My question is my request is, for example, if new VIM is when we are going to implement to the client, what things and how to start the configuration, such a way, any idea can you give us?
Yes. See, basically, when you are going for any the implementation in any client, maybe a different kind of the industry they have, the first you need to understand the setup that they have in the present, and what is the approval process, and what are the invoices that they are processing at that moment. And you need to understand where you can categorize the invoices which is relevant. As out of box, we have the configuration like NPO document type, and and we have a PO document type, which is the global one. So where you need to put into such a way. These are the actual thing that you need to understand. First, basically understand the present. Yeah, you're saying something. Chiranjeevi, you're saying something, or can I go ahead?
No. Please proceed.
So these are the actual, the document types that will help. So the basic understanding is, first understand when you are fitting the current business into the, into the VIM. So if you have business like where you say, if your client is at a global level, and where you want to segregate the invoices like based upon the location are based upon the sensitivity, and then you need to, I mean, this all factors comes into, if you have the archiving, document segregation. So if you want to trigger, the invoice, which, where it can sit in the archive server there. So you need to put in such a way. First, I just let me open. So I have some notepad as well. So the first thing is understanding about the business first. Understand. And then the approval process, current approval process. So you need to put in and then you need to understand about the archiving. Archiving. So the archiving part is another one. Then you need to understand about the roles. So what they are doing at this moment, what are the roles that they have? And then you need to think about the approval process and how are they going to be approval. So you need to understand about the approval roles actually. The approval process, in the sense, this is the overview level. It is in the high level. So you need to understand entire AP side, how they are functioning, and how you can put into your, how you can put that into the BIM. So first thing, you need to understand the sensitivity of the documents that you want to, then you can segregate that is coming to the archiving side. So based on the, archiving side, let's say now you have the, sensitive documents. So you need to archive them. At the same time, you need to trigger the workflow through the sensitivity, I mean, that document only. No other person should see that, I know that, any PDF or any information. In that case, what do? You trigger and you opt the workflow based upon that archiving document type. So you will understand what is archiving document type. So it is just a case where I'm explaining, how, since you're asking how we gonna be do that and all. So it is as like a other module implementation. But the thing here is you need to understand the more about the AP process side and approval process, and how the team size and what are the roles to be needs to be created, and how you want to set up the the approval process. Let's say you want to go for a web-based or you want to go for a Fury, or you want to go for any other. This comes when it's based upon the volume of the invoices. Let's say you have 30,000 invoices, or you have a 20,000 per a month. So in that case, so which is a better one? If you go for the cost cutting, and this all comes into the picture, and the support side, and the back end team. So this all comes into picture when you keep on discussing in the business, and what their pain area, how they want to, and which is a better one. So this comes all into the picture. So it's in the high level. So based upon that, you will go within the SAP or outside the SAP, or you want to implement web portal or something for approval, or you can choose, I don't want to go anything, I just want to choose to manually the invoice approval. So as soon as it worked, so that's how you can set up. It is always it's a client wish, where it will not be it's a dynamic. We cannot say it is not a fixed thing that we work. It's a always requirement in the BIM. Maybe it keeps changes. So some the automobile industry have their different process, where they do not because they don't have any sensitive information. Where it comes to the financial services, they don't want to see any approval in the standard table. They don't want to see. I mean, they don't want to go everyone and see the information of the approval process and the limit and everything. So that's how it works actually. So based upon that, you need to work. So, and you need to, in the initial itself, you need to go with the swim lane process and everything. So it is a simple, it seems like a simple, but yes, you need to fit in a such a way. If you understand the things that we are going to be, discuss, I'm honestly saying that you will be, at least not all the out of the box configuration, you will be, confident enough to, go and discuss something that you're going to be implement or you going to, you want to implement. So that I can assure you.
Okay.
Is that fine, Chiranjeevi?
Yes, fine.
Okay. So anyone has any questions or something?
Yes, Ram Uma here. I have few questions.
Yes, sir.
So, Ram, actually, as you said, you will cover complete workflow, right? Starting from, though ICC part real time we can't see, but at least from real time perspective, how invoice flows from starting to ending till it post, entire workflow you will cover, right?
Yes, yeah, how it goes, and I'll explain with the diagrams where
Okay.
things works and I have the screenshot because I can make a screenshots because each screen I can make a screenshot. I can prepare the things, but I
Okay.
hope you understand.
Yeah, got it. So we need to have that feeling of how exactly the complete flow goes, so that because I don't know the SAP part, okay? Only theoretically, whatever that I am reading manuals and all. So AP invoices and this all terminology I'm just learning, okay? PO, non-PO kind of thing, all these things. So if I get complete understanding of one flow, that will be helpful. That is one thing, and also. Are you also planning to give any one real-time implementation which you already work for any other client, any client?
See, I can explain what I have done in the client, but I cannot explain I mean, it is kind of confidential, but yes, I can make you understand over here what I have done. So that's how
That's
I
what
can do.
we don't want client details. I'm not expecting client details. At least
Yes.
this is a kind of project I worked, and this is the in configuration. This is the volume of documents we receive, so that we can actually map. So when we are working on projects, so these type of projects we need to understand like this, something like that I'm expecting.
Yes, definitely. The scenario based, the simulation part, the one which you are expecting is a fair. That is the thing that we're gonna be, do. See, let's say if we have let's say the things which you said, some clients may not opt for the parking process, but still we discuss. So one of my first, client has the parking process where even though it is parking, in the Vim workplace, again they want to go for a parking. As soon as it landed in the Vim workplace, so if you see here, I'll show you. Just 1 minute. Again, it's on. Let's say if you see here, again, What is the PO processing? So the PO you can directly post it from here. Where if you see this vendor here, this role that we have over here, who is the role? Who is the role here? So 803, and this is AP processor 21. So
Okay.
you can put as the scenario where if this roles receives this invoice, where you can put where he can post, you can put this button, so you can make
Okay.
them post. And
Okay.
where you want to, you're not satisfied, where you want to park, and you want to go for further approval, so then you can choose you can extend the things, or where it's a scenario based. So that's how it works. So to make you
Okay,
to
fine.
answer.
Yeah, thank you, Ram. And also, Ram, actually, so in terms of integrations, will you cover theoretically what is archive link and how exactly this archiving happens, document archiving workflow, I mean?
Yes, I have the documentation for that one, where you can how the things will work, and
Okay.
just a second. Just a second.
Yeah.
Hope you can see, right?
Right, I can see. Yeah.
So this is a clear-cut documentation where you will understand what is archiving document type, and how you configure and everything. So what is the setting folder? We have the the configuration. Even though we have the configuration guides but we have segregated one, so where you can.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
And also
So
one final question from my side. You mentioned that actually this VIM is not a different part; it sits on SAP ECC only. So VIM is implemented using ABAP, right?
Yes.
So in case since it is already existing workflow, will you touch upon any customizations if at all required? Suppose not exist one, if any customizations if required as part of project, will you give any highlight on that?
Yes, let's understand it in this way. So basically, as far as my career in this game, so any changes to the workflow is not recommended, and if you change anything, and it will not work, and there will be always a bug. And if you go for a support, ask for the open text, and they will not do, because they 100% say that you don't enhance anything in the customized workflow, in the workflow side, the customization. And apart from that, if you want to enhance any screen relevant, or the process relevant, or any business rule check relevant, they have given the space where you will be having your own implementation. But it's as a standard code, and they will not agree to change any workflow relevant tasks, because those are predefined actually. So if you go here, so but yes, the role relevant thing we can see, and we can discuss on that. If you see over here, this workflow task, this is the workflow document. If you see over here, these are the one. If you want to, these are the the standard one that has given by the open text and SAP, which can trigger And if you try to change anything in the workflow, it doesn't work, and it is not even, it's like a standard thing. So,
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. But troubleshooting side, and as I to add your question, yes, if you want to troubleshoot any invoice, let's say I can make you understand. So let's say one invoice, has stuck in the Vim workplace, and you can understand why it has, let's say, I'm just giving the one kind of, what you say, example. So in the real time, how you troubleshoot when you stuck with your so you will find something kind of, just just try to make you understand. You can understand what this data is, container, which is, and what document type, which is carrying and which is triggering if anything, goes wrong. So you can always check over in this container, and you can understand, let's say, instead of one document type, and it has cached the other document type. So you can understand easily saying that this workflow has triggered for this document type. So just a kind of workflow troubleshooting, kind of thing we can do. But honestly, you need to have the work, kind of, there are SWIN and SW1 and IA, and yes, there are a few T codes that I'll provide where it's always good. It's a kind of workflow basics, and which can help you to troubleshoot on the in the Vim workflow side, so that I can help you on that.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
So any other question, guys? So basically, I just thought of going the overview, but it's always better, the comfortability that we have, all. So what is the fair expectations and what we're going to be discussed, instead of going and giving the a demo and all. So I hope it is a more than demo, I guess, and I hope you agree as well. So
yes,
but
very much. Yeah.
So the things that we gonna be, if I go with the PDF and just say it's a demo, so but I am pretty much clear, and what the outcome is, and I hope you understand the expectations as well. So yes, in the end of the session, maybe we all go with the satisfaction. So that's what. And I just want to highlight you one more thing here. That when I learned this SAP VIM a few years back, so they just throw some kind of daily 8 hours in the OpenText side, and it's a 5-day kind of thing. So the thing is, the input was, it's a kind of ignition, and I keep on learning things. Each client has a different kind of landscape and everything, but the funda is our basic, and the standard configuration should perfect, where you can relate and you can implement that. So that's the agenda that I'll keep here. So I hope you understand, because all you people are experienced and real time things how it works. And I hope in the training also the expectation how I think you can understand. So we say yes or no. So
That's correct. Yes, yes, Ram. Sorry. Yes, you are right.
okay, so if everything good, and I guess we have discussed things, and yeah, if anything, then I think Subho is the one who coordinates the thing, and whatever the things that you want to share, and anything, that is the one. Because in sometimes where he comes when I in the call, and he say say where wanted to take the class and everything. I mean, it's a flexibility, and check with him, and the whatever you want to check, and the flexible time, so I can check mine as well. So and we can go ahead on that part. So
Sure, sure.
yeah, thanks everyone.
Thank you very much, Ram.
Thank you all.
Nice.
Thanks, Ram.
Thanks.
Very much, Ram.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.